Hey y'all, this is Otto with Prayer Privilege, and today this is a message video, and this is taken from Hebrews 13 and verse 18, and it's titled The Everlasting Gobstopper. Let's get into it. So this morning I was drinking my tea, and I noticed that there was ice in the tea and it was starting to melt. However, the tea had already been finished. And I noticed it seemed like there kept being tea. Like, even though the ice was melting, it wasn't like so watery where it felt like it wasn't tea mixed with the ice. And so I'm like, oh, the tea is everlasting. And then I just start saying everlasting gobstopper. And it made me think of the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie. Now, if you've seen the one from the 90s and the 2005, the same story will still apply. The same message will still apply. So let's get into it, y'all. The Everlasting Gobstopper is one of the... Y'all don't laugh at the little fake accent I'm trying to do. The Everlasting Gobstopper is a candy in the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. However, it's funny. I was talking to my son, and this message came up as I was talking to him. Is that you never know what test you may be undergoing, or what test of your character and your heart space you may be undergoing. In the movie, Charlie is extremely poor, and all of the kids are there on a chocolate tour to see who gets to win a grand prize at the end. And all of the kids were given a color changing, flavor changing jawbreaker, basically, is what the Gobstopper is. And he said, here's your one. Don't tell nobody about it. Don't give it to nobody. In the movie, there is another guy who makes candy in the movie, and he's trying to steal Wonka's recipes so that he can make money from them too, right? So in that movie, somewhere down the line in the chocolate tour, he goes to the kids and tries to get the recipe, or buy the recipe from, or buy the Gobstopper or the jawbreaker from one of the kids, right? And so everyone was told, hey, don't give the recipe to nobody, or don't give the candy to nobody. Don't tell nobody about the candy and what it could do. At the end of the movie, Charlie is the only one who goes to Willy Wonka and returns that candy to him. He's like, here, Mr. Wonka, I still have the jawbreaker, right? That jawbreaker was a lesson in integrity. Because he gave him that jawbreaker at the end of the tour, and mind you, I said at the beginning, he's a poor kid. He doesn't have money. His family don't come from money. So he gives him the jawbreaker, and he says, I still have it, Mr. Wonka. And the man offered him, the opponent candy maker offered him money, which really is a man who works inside of his factory. So that's another message. It's like, you never know who's an angel in disguise, what's a test in disguise. You never know, right? So he says, hey, I still have the candy. And Mr. Wonka was like, since you still have this jawbreaker, you will inherit my factory. Now, that's big for that little boy, because, again, he came from nothing. He doesn't have money. He's poor, whatever, right? But what you can see is his heart, because even though he was poor, he was still able to be raised up in an environment where he had morals and values and integrity, right? And he saw that. Mr. Wonka saw that he had morals and values and integrity, and he was honest. And so he inherited the prize. It's the same with us. We never know what tests or trials we may be undergoing that God might be using to prune us, or to take a look at our heart space. Sometimes it could even be tests from the devil to try to get you, on the wrong path, or even in the instance of, doing things for money that God wouldn't want us to do. But what's important to remember here is that if we seek first God, everything else will be taken care of. And so that's the same in this sense. Going back to the movie, we will inherit the prize if we understand Hebrews 13 and verse 18. And it says, keep praying for us, for we trust we have an honest conscience, as we wish to conduct ourselves honestly in all things. This right here is key to this whole storyline. Because Charlie was honest, he inherited the prize. when we are honest with God, when we are walking righteously, when we do things God's way instead of trying to feel like it's going to be quicker or easier doing it the devil's way, we inherit God's prize. And so this is just a message to us and just another prayer point to look introspectively and ask ourselves, God, am I walking honestly in all things? Am I doing things honestly? Am I catching myself doing little small, what we feel like is small lies or whatever the case may be? Because a lot of times things are used to help us to reveal our heart. And people like to talk about shadow work, right? But a lot of times it can be hard on this road. I find myself sometimes like, dang, I really don't want to go, too deep into time with God, because then it's going to reveal certain things. It's going to reveal certain pain I have or certain hurt that I have. But that's the real deep work that God invites us to do so that we can heal and be made new, like Ephesians 4:24 says. And so, yeah, I wanted to share this. I thought this was such a cool message that God spoke to me and my son this morning, of just conducting ourselves honestly in all things, and understanding that when we conduct ourselves honestly and when we do things the righteous way, we will inherit the true prize.